Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like, first of all, to greet all our guests. Thank you for being with us today. I also express gratitude to the organizers for the continuous support of Azerbaijan's energy agenda. As was already mentioned, back in 1994, when the first oil and gas exhibition was held, right after that, Azerbaijan signed a contract with a consortium of international oil companies, later called the Contract of the Century, which actually changed the whole geopolitical and geo-economic situation in the region. That was due to the vision of President Ilham Aliyev, who clearly understood that without broad international cooperation, especially in the field of energy, which at that time was probably the only attractive part of our economy, Azerbaijan would not be able not only to overcome difficulties, but also to become a really independent country. Because now, when we look back at that period, we see that the road towards independence actually started from that particular historical moment. At that time, Azerbaijan was considered by foreign investors as a very risky country due to objective reasons. The country was just emerging from the civil war. The economic situation was close to collapse. Inflation was at 1,000% with overwhelming poverty, and the occupation of our territories by Armenia, which led to the ethnic cleansing of hundreds of thousands of Azerbaijanis, created, as you can imagine, a very dark picture for our future. Today, when we look back, we see that our energy policy was the driving force for our economic and political success. Today, Azerbaijan is a country with a stable political system and a developing economy. The share of oil and gas in our GDP is something more than 30%. Azerbaijan is implementing large-scale economic reforms, and our economy is self-sufficient. Our foreign debt is less than 7% of GDP, and our financial reserves exceed our foreign debt by 14 times. We managed to reduce poverty due to the fair distribution of national wealth. Today, the poverty level is around 5%. We invested largely in human capital and education, and the level of literacy is close to 100%. Then, we created a new environment in the region. Without access to the open seas, Azerbaijan today is considered to be one of the important transportation hubs of Eurasia, with our huge investments in transportation infrastructure. Also, our energy projects have completely changed the energy map of Eurasia. Together with our partners, we built strategic pipelines to connect the Caspian Sea with the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Of course, the crown of our pipelines is the Southern Gas Corridor, which stretches 3,500 kilometers from the Azerbaijani offshore fields to Italy.